In the last lecture, we started with the queues concept, which is another elementary data structure that is used for dealing with the complex data structures such as graphs and trees. So, along with queues, we have also seen the comparison with the stacks also, and also we have seen the implementation of queues, that is a static queue and as well as dynamic queue. So both the queue implementations we have seen, and you can also find it in the last lecture, and sq.c and dq.c, which indicates that static queue and dynamic queue respectively. In the last lecture, when we are discussing the queue concept, when this when the static queue is implemented, whenever this particular queue is implemented, we are supposed to code the queue program with the property that first in first out. That means the element which inserted first will be removed first. So for this, unlike stack, we are going to use two pointers called front pointer and rear pointer. In queue, the insertion will be done at rear and removing will be done at front. So whenever you are inserting the element into the queue, assume that this situation, which is showing on the screen, now insert one more element in the queue. So currently front pointer is at the index 2 and the rear pointer is at the index 4. So when that means there are two slots are there in the queue which are free, but because of the constraint that whenever the rear reaches the maximum size of the queue, we cannot insert a more number of elements. This is what the conventional idea in the static queue operation. But with this idea, what is happening is even though there exist two slots free, we are unable to insert the element. That is the reason we are going to see now the variant of this queue called circular queue. The circular queue is nothing but even though the basic idea of the circular queue is even though the rear value reaches the maximum size of the queue, why can't we go for rear to be initialized from 0 so that these two empty slots can be filled with some more elements. That is what the basic idea of this circular queue data structure. So queue is a general basic data structure, and the circular queue is a data structure which is especially used for the elimination of the thing that even though some slots are free because of the removal operation in the normal queue, why can't we use the empty slots so that we can accommodate some more elements? Here we are discussing it as some more elements, but in the real world, as I told in the last lecture, in the real world, this particular queue is especially used at the server level in order to hold the requests from the various clients. So that is the reason if you might have managed the queue perfectly or correctly, then these requests can be holded into the queue and will be served based upon first come first serve. So that is the reason we are going to see the circular queue operation in this lecture. The name itself telling you that circular means even though the front rear value reaches the maximum size of the queue, we are in a position to insert the elements if there exist some free slots in the queue. So this is what the basic idea of circular queue. Circular queue. This is similar as a simple queue. The insertion is done from rear and deletion is done from front. Here, overcome the limitation of simple queue by inserting new node in the beginning if there is space in begin and rare is at the maximum size -1. So how this particular rare or front can be again rounded to 0 whenever it reaches the maximum size -1. Here a simple logic we need to write in program so that we can achieve or we can round it to the initial value, that is -1 or 0, whatever the initial value you have taken, and we can insert the elements into the queue if there exists some sufficient space to store. This particular simple operation is modulo operation. Usually in modulo operation you will get the remainder into consideration, or you will take the remainder into consideration, where in case of division you will take the dividend into consideration. For example, if you have the calculation such as 10 by 2, here 10 by 2 is the division. That means you are going to consider 5 as the value after evaluating the expression 10 by 2. That means in the division you will consider the dividend, that means 5. Where in case of modulo operation, after performing division, what is the remainder is there, whatever is the remainder you will get, that remainder you will consider. For example, 10 modulo 2, modulo means here in programming we will use a symbol called percentage symbol. This percentage symbol indicates that modulo operation. So if I have given 10 percentage 2, then you will get the value as 0. The reason is the 2 can divide the value 10 perfectly, so that the remainder you will get is 0. So in the same way, whenever this rare value is moduloed with the maximum size -1, then whenever it reaches to the maximum size, so obviously the rare value is maximum size and moduloed with the maximum size -1. So obviously it will come to the starting position, since the remainder whatever you get is 0 or 1. So this is the simple trick we'll play in the circular queue operation. The rest of the operations that what we have seen in the normal queues can be implemented as it is in the circular queues also. Next, insertion and deletion is done in the circular manner. For example, implementation of circular queue. Here are the examples. Rare increases in insertion, front increases in deletion. So obviously insertion will be done at rare and removal will be done at front. So initially front is equal to -1 and rare is equal to -1. So in our program in the last lecture, we have seen that we have made as front is equal to -1 and rare is equal to 0. So like that we have made a manipulation. We can also use, depends upon the initial value that you take, the manipulation to be done as incrementing, post increment or pre increment, this kind of thing to be used in the programming. So initially here front is equal to -1 and rare is equal to -1. After insertion of a first element, so when front and rare will become 0 and 1 is the element inserted into the queue. After inserting the second element, front is equal to 0 and rare will be incremented, since the element to be inserted at the rare position. Next, after inserting the second element, rare value will be incremented, that is index of rare will be incremented, and the newly added element will be added to the queue. Now assume that you are going to delete an element from the queue. So whenever the deletion will be done, the deletion will be done from the front. So front is equal to 1 because you have deleted the first element, so the front value should be incremented by 1. Now delete one more element from the queue, that is whenever you delete one more element, that is 2 is the element to be deleted, then front is equal to rare. So now only one element is there, so simply you use the formula, queue length formula, rare minus front plus 1. So only one element is there, which is the 3. Next you insert some more elements, 4 and 5 respectively. So the rare value will come to the 4. but the queue length here is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means we'll consider the queue length as 5 whenever the rear reaches the maximum size minus 1. That is, since the rear index reaches the 4, that is maximum size of the queue minus 1, that is 5 minus 1. So now what you are supposed to do is you are supposed to round it off. Now you are supposed to round it off. Now what you do is rear value should be moduloed with the maximum size minus 1. So what is the rear value? 4. 4 moduloed with the maximum size minus 1. What is the maximum size? 5. So 5 minus 1, 4. 4 modulo 4. So 4 by 4 is perfectly divided. So remainder will be 0. So now the R will become 0. So that means rear will come to 0th position. Now if you are trying to insert any element, you can insert it here. Okay. So next you can increment the rear value. So this R, now the rear value will become 0. So the rear will be at the index 0 and insert 6 is the element to be inserted. So 6 is inserted. Now you look at here R is equal to 1. That means new element is inserted into the queue. So now insert one more element in the queue. So since if you increment R, it will become front. So that is reason the rear should not equal to front. So in such a way you are supposed to insert the element. If rear is going to become front, that is the index of rear and front is equal, then you cannot insert the elements. Thereby you can say that circular queue is full. Here the queue is full and insertion of one or more element in the queue will not be possible. Hence there will be an overflow will come. So this is the way you are supposed to manage the already existing queue in order to make it as circular queue. Now we'll see the circular queue implementation. We'll declare initially front is equal to -1 and rear is equal to -1 and into queue of max. Next is void insert of integer value. So void insert of int value. So when can we insert the element into the queue? If the queue is not full, we can insert the element into the queue. How can you say a queue is full? If rear is equal to max -1, rear is equal to max -1, and front is equal to 0. When rear is equal to max -1 and front is equal to 0, then so you may ask me that why we are making it as front is equal to 0. Anyhow, we have initialized front as -1. Afterwards, we will change it to 0 for our convenience. So that is the reason I'm going to mention front is equal to 0. In this case, printf queue is full. Then return. In case if rear is equal to -1 and front is equal to -1, then initialize both front and rear. Front is equal to rear is equal to 0 and queue of rear is equal to 1. So the first element, whatever is inserted, will be inserted. The element that is inserted will be in the 0th position. Next, so that is when the rear is equal to -1. So here it is equal to, so equation equality symbol. Another condition we need to check is if rear equal to max -1, that means almost rear reached the maximum. Now if front is not equal to 0, then we can make a rear as rear as 0, then q of rear is equal to that. That means front is not 0. That means it is going to, the front may be in the some other position. So the reason we can come to know that those zeroth position, that is there exist some empty slots, and we can insert the element into the empty slots. So assume that in this case, assume that front is at position 2. So that means rear is crossed at maximum, and now it turn to 0. When front is equal to 2, assume that front is equal to 2. So one more element can be inserted. But whenever one more element is inserted, the rear value will be obviously incremented by 1. So we can insert element up to one step before front. So when it is reached one step before front, when the rear value is one step before front, then we can say that the queue is full. So along with already available condition, I will add one more condition that when rear is equal to front minus 1, because if front is a 2, 2 minus 1 is 1. So 0, 1. Two slots will be there, front minus 1. And we'll say modulo operation, because modulo operation is better suitable for in a mathematical way for calculating irrespective of the value of front max minus 1. So in this case, it will become the queue is full. So now what we do is if queue is not full and this rear is equal to minus 1 and front is equal to minus 1, then this condition, these two steps will be executed. And if not rear is equal to minus 1 and front is equal to minus 1, these two steps will be executed. If not all these three conditions, then as usual, the general way of inserting. So q rear is equal to rear plus 1, q of rear is equal to y. That's all. This is the insertion operation. Now we have achieved almost all conditions. If anything to be required to be added in due time, whenever we complete the remove queue and other things, we'll see how to fix it there. Next, we will move on to the removal void remove queue. So, of void, since whenever removal is done, remove queue means it will return the integer value. So, int remove queue. So, when can you remove the element from the queue? When the queue is not empty, you can remove the element from the queue. You can say queue is empty if front is equal to minus 1. Then enter queue is empty and return. That's all. Next thing is we take the value of q of because the removal from the will be done at front. Now check whether the front is equal to rear or not. If front equal to rear, then front is equal to rear is equal to minus 1. This means we are reinitializing the array, because whenever the front is equal to rear, obviously there are there are no elements to move forward. There are no elements to remove from the queue. So that is the reason we are reinitializing the front and rear pointers to -1. In addition to this, what are the other possibilities of a front value? Else, if front, assume that front is equal to maximum size, max -1. Then what you can do is you can reinitialize it to 0. So that is front is equal to 0. If not this, then is there any other possible value for front available? So maximum these two are the values that will be available. So if not these two, front is equal to front plus 1. That's it. So with this, what will happen? Whenever the element is taken from the queue, then front value will be incremented by 1. Then return value. Because we have taken the queue of front into the value, this value will be returned. Next, we'll define the function traverse, void traverse. So traverse is somewhat straightforward. Check whether the rear value is greater than front or not. If rear value is greater than front, directly from front to rear you print the values. Otherwise, you print the values from 0 to rear and 0 to front and front to rear. In two halves, you can print the value. So we'll first check whether the queue is having any element or not. Then we can go for checking of other conditions. Void traverse. So first of all, we have to check whether the queue is front is equal to -1. Printf queue is empty. Then return. Otherwise, then we need to take care of. So now check whether if rear is greater than or equal to front, then obviously from front to rear you print the value. For int I is equal to 0 and I less than rear, I less than or equal to rear, I plus plus printf this one q of I. Now what if rear is not greater than front? That means rear may be coming to the front, rear may be 0, then from there again in a circular fashion insertion is going on. In such cases, how to print? So that is else you can print in two ways. Else you can print in two ways. One is move from I is equal to I less than till rear, I less than or equal to rear. For example, if the rear is 1, 0 and 1 will be printed, and I plus plus printf percentile d comma q of I. For int we can use same int I for multiple times. So let's control C. Like now if declare again and again. So I is equal to 0. I is equal to rare plus 1. I less than max. I plus plus. Now printf LD Q of I. So this is the way you can print the elements in the queue. Now we'll write the main method, void main, that will insert, because currently the maximum size of the queue is 5. One thing we do is insert 10. That will insert 5 elements and we'll test it. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, then travel. Let will see whether it works. Yeah, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So these are the values for sprint. Now let will insert one more element, and it has to print, since the queue is full, it has to print queue is. So since I cannot insert 60, it is printing that queue is full. So it has to print queue is full. Now what I will do is I will remove one element, printf %ld remove queue. So 10 will be removed. So 10 is the element which is removed. So in the remove queue, what we do is whenever element is going to be removed, before that we'll do a backslash n so that the display will be clear. Element removed is element removed is 10. Okay, so this is done. Now since one element is removed, so obviously there is a chance we can insert element, insert of 60. Now we'll try to insert the element 60. So it won't give you anything because we are not given the traverse. So traverse, in order to traverse, first what we do is to make display very clear, backslash n. So 60, 20, 30, 40, 50. So 10 is removed. So in place of 10, 60 was spent. So in this way, our program is working fine. So this is the circular queue implementation in static way. Now we will move on to the circular queue implementation in dynamic way. I will take the help of the circular linked list. In the circular linked list, whatever the code is there, as it is, I am taking. So in this, whatever the functions we have used here, insert, the same functions we can use in the DQ, dynamic circular queue. And in the circular queue it is over. Next, in the dynamic queue, in the DQ, whatever the operations we have considered, the same operations we need to use here. Let will declare the same functions. because the insertion will be done at the end and release removal will be done at front in the circular queue. So the reason same operation I'm going to use here. So here creation of node is required. Creation of node is required, and remove at begin is required. Insert at beginning is not required because we have to insert the element at the end. Display is required. Is empty is required, and create node is required. Move end is also required. List length is required for the queue length. Remove at end is not required because we need to insert at end. Search list is not required. Insert at position and removal at a position is also not required. Okay. Now, so what are the functions what we have used in the dynamic queue? In the dynamic queue, so the same functions I'm going to use here, queue length, because the same functions will declare here also. Now we'll run the code, and node star head is equal to null. So what is this? Node star head is equal to null. Null is undeclared. The reason why it is undeclared is we have not included the header file. So because stdio.h is the header file in which you will find this pointer called null. So the same thing that what we have seen in the circular linked list, the same thing we got here also. So this is the circular queue implementation using the circular linked list concept. There exists, like a circular queue, there exists some other advanced queue operations called priority queues, which are also called as heaps, 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 that we'll see when we discuss the trees concept.